Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back into Michigan Ambush Outdoors for this week's product review. As you guys can see in the thumbnail of the video, I'm going to be talking about my Life Time Tamarack angler. I just kind of want to talk about what you get when you buy this kayak, what comes standard, and then I want to talk about the modifications that I made. Just real quick, kind of just covering over the specs. This Tamarack is the Life Time Tamarack 100. This is a 10-foot boat. It's got a weight capacity of 275 and it weighs under 100 pounds. Super easy to carry, super easy to load on my own. Right now this boat's listed out on Walmart for $259. When I bought it, it was actually on sale for I believe $200. And then of course, Walmart being Walmart, the first boat that I got was damaged, so I was actually able to negotiate a little further of a discount. So I ended up getting this boat for like 160, 170 bucks, so it was a great buy. So what you get when you buy the boat is you get the boat, and then you get a fishing rod holder, and then you get a paddle. In my opinion, the paddle's a piece of crap. I'd throw it out and just get a different one. The paddle that they offer is a collapsible one. You can kind of position it which is best suited for you, but again, it's really flimsy. It's not a good paddle at all. Like I said, if you're gonna get it, that would be the first thing, one of the first things that I would replace. So the next part of the video, I'm just gonna go over the boat as it is when you buy it, and then we'll dive into the modifications. So this is a look at the boat. Again, 10 foot kayak, 275 pound weight capacity, and it weighs less than 100 pounds. Super nice boat, super sleek, super clean. It tracks very well in the water, and stability, I've never had an issue with it. You can see that I've definitely made a couple modifications. This is not something that's standard, but we'll talk about what comes standard with the boat. So this is the fishing rod holder that I had mentioned. This thing's pretty nice. It's fully adjustable once it's locked in, and then you can also take it out when traveling and put it in one of your dry compartments. So they did mention when you bought the boat that these are not 100% dry, but I can say that I've never had any water in the compartment. It's got a nice rubber seal all the way around it, and when you push it down and lock it in place, like I said, I've never had an issue with getting water in there. One downside to the dry compartment storage on both of these is it runs the whole length of the boat. So if you put something in there like a bottle of water or something, there's a good chance when you go to get it back out that it could either be all the way at the very back of the boat, or it could be all the way at the nose of the boat. So one of the first modifications that I made is I added this, and what this is just a cheap dollar store trash can. I put sticky Velcro on here, and then I also put sticky Velcro down in the bottom of the boat, and then I just do that, but then that's not gonna go anywhere, and then I just lock this back in. So that's the first modification that I made to the boat. Second modification, you can see here that I also have Velcro sticky pads, is my tray. I love my tray. Tray works out very well. If you're changing lures, you got some place to put them. I drilled a hole here. I have fishing pliers that I have on a carabiner, a small carabiner. I just run them right through here. They sit in here. I'm not gonna lose them. Again, the tray's not going to go anywhere. So that's a nice feature because there's not a lot of storage. Your legs run on both sides, so other than this small little cup holder compartment, again, you don't have a lot of storage once you're in the boat. So that's a nice thing to add. Also, when you get the boat, you get these storage compression straps on the front, and then on the back. I actually removed mine off the back, and what I did is I actually made my fishing crate here. So I took that cord and I ran it all through my fishing crate so the cord stays on my fishing crate. And the reason that I did that, because the cord actually runs through this here, where you can see where I have this paracord tied through. So if I wanted to add my fishing crate to my boat, I had to untie that cord and then wrap it all through here and then tie this knot. And then once this knot gets wet and compresses, it's super hard to get out. So what I do now is I've again added paracord with small 20-pound carabiners, which is probably even overkill. And then I just go ahead and then I hook it up, and I do that on all 4 corners, and then it stays stationary. I'll show you what that looks like. So this is what it looks like when it's all hooked up on all 4 corners. My fishing kayak, or my fishing crate, is stable. It's not going to go anywhere. I've never had a problem with losing it. Of course, I've never tipped either. So that's the next modification that I made. And then just quickly touching base on the fishing crate itself. So what I did is I just took a fishing crate, actually 2 of them, and then I cut the bottom off, and that's my lid. I drilled the hole through right here on this side and cut a bungee cord in half, and all right, there it is. I have a lid for my crate, and what's nice about that is if you were to tip, you're not going to lose all your content that you have inside. And inside of here, when I'm out fishing, is all my tackle. So of course, I don't want to lose all my lures. I got a ton of money wrapped up in them. All my lures, my hooks, and then of course your fishing rods too. That's another good point. So you can see here that I have another carabiner tied off to the fishing crate with some paracord. So when I run another fishing pole in here, I typically attach this to the pole. So again, if I were to tip, I'm not going to lose my pole. Quickly touching base on just my fishing rod holders, which are just held in here by screws. I took PVC pipe. You can kind of see that the tops are flared out. So I took a heat gun, heated up these tops, and then just pushed them down on a glass bottle, and that's how you get that flare out in them. So once I had them flared out and set to the way that I wanted them, then I went ahead and cut the holes in here. So just keep in mind when you are making fishing rod holders, take into consideration if you're using a spinning rod or a bait caster. Some of these I actually had to redo after I had cut them to add extra space for my bait caster. Once I had them cut, I went ahead and just painted them, spray painted them OD green so it could match the boat. So I think the black and the OD green just goes with the overall color scheme, so I really like that. Another thing I wanted to touch base on real quick is just one of these tethers. This is a paddle tether. I would definitely highly recommend getting one of these. I just hook mine to the handle here on the boat. This goes around my paddle, and then that makes sure that I'm not going to lose it. This boat does come with a paddle holder. So just quickly showing you how this works. You got your paddle, loop it around here, attach it there, and then your paddle's secure on your boat. When you're out traveling, you're not going to lose it. You're not going to lose it if you tip, and if you do tip, you got your tether to keep your paddle safe. So the next modification that I made, and in my opinion is a definite must if you're going to go with this boat, is the seat upgrade. So the seat that comes with the boat, the padding is not very thick. You can see here it's actually super small. The back is actually pretty decent. It's fully adjustable with these straps here. So the back of it's really not the issue. It's just this pad here. But when you're out fishing for a long time, I could probably only get like maybe 4 hours out of that seat before I started to have some back issues. So what I did is I went out and I got this stadium seat. I got this off Amazon. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can check this out if it's something that you want to take a look at. But basically this seat here was a game changer. I can go out, I can fish 4, 5, 6, 7. I think the longest I did was 8 hours out on this, and I haven't had any issues. It does make you sit up a little higher, so that's one thing that I do want to mention. It didn't change the stability of the boat, so I've never had a problem with casting or setting hooks, and it hasn't damaged the boat either. So you can see here, basically the back of that seat will ride up right up in here. Again, I haven't had any issues. It sits very nicely on that boat, and then what I do to secure it is I'll actually run a bungee cord around here, and then I hook it in to these carabiners right here, and then that keeps that pretty solid. Another upgrade that I did to the boat, this was definitely not standard, is my anchor trolley. So the anchor trolley to me is a must. The way that I hooked mine up is I ran it from basically I'd say probably 3 feet from the nose of the boat, and then again roughly probably about 2 to 3 feet from the back of the boat. And what I love about this is the ability to adjust this D-ring to the front or the back of the boat, and then with the locking cleat you just slide it in there, put that rope down there, and then your anchor's locked in place. It's not going to go anywhere. The anchor that I use is just a small 1.5 pound anchor. I've never had any problems with this not holding me. I've used it a couple times. It's held me in place pretty well. So I tied it here at the bottom, which is typically not your anchoring point. You usually tie it off here, but you can see I tied it here, and then I have a zip tie at the top. So what that does essentially, if I drop anchor and I get caught in seaweed and I'm not able to get this out, I can pull hard enough without tipping the boat, of course. It'll snap that very small zip tie, and then hopefully you'd be able to pull your anchor up like this. Another thing that I want to mention with the anchor is I added a floating device. So the way that I rig my anchor up, I actually hook it to this. I hook it right there on the boat. Again, I'm able to position the anchor wherever I want. If I get in a situation where I have to drop my anchor because of current or anything, the floating device will actually allow me to come back and retrieve my anchor, so it's not a loss. The last upgrade that I want to talk about, or modification that I made, is just ease of transportation. It's getting this wheel kit, and I leave this on the boat at all times when I'm out fishing to again make it easy to get from the boat launch back to my truck. I'll have a bungee cord. I'll wrap the cord around here and then just attach it somewhere on the crate. I don't lose it. It's not very heavy, and it doesn't change the stability of the boat. It opens up nicely. You just drop the boat in here, this kicks up, and then you can just wheel the boat around wherever you want to go. I think I got that over at Dunham's for probably 30 bucks. But overall, I'm super happy with the boat. It's super nice, super cheap, pretty inexpensive. If you guys are looking for a fishing kayak to be able to get out on the water and fish in, this is definitely one that I would recommend. I've had great luck with it. I've caught a lot of fish in it. One thing I do like to carry with me is a fishing net. Sometimes it is hard to land the fish in the boat because you're sitting so low, but a fishing net will definitely help you out greatly in regards to that. The one complaint that I have about this boat, the one complaint I do want to mention, is trying to take a pee. So sitting so low and not being able to stand up onto the boat, you're almost forced to go to dry land every time you got to use the bathroom. So I just make sure I don't drink a lot of coffee, and I only drink water when I need to, so I don't have to pee so much. Other than that, like I said, the boat's great. I love the boat. I've had it for, this is my 2nd year now. I've taken it out quite a bit. It's easy to load by myself. It's easy to get unloaded by myself. And then with the wheels, it's easy to transport out to the lake. I typically run 2 to 3 poles depending on where I'm gonna fish. I've never had an issue when sitting in the boat, reaching back to my crate here and accessing lures or water or anything else. So again, the boat is super stable. It tracks well. The other downside to it, I gotta say, there's one other con, and that's just due to the lightness of the boat. That if you're on a windy day, you are gonna, if without an anchor, you will cruise that lake. Once that wind starts blowing on you, you'll float away from your spot that you're fishing in. So really an anchor's a must, and running it on an anchor trolley, in my opinion, is the smartest way to go, because then you can position yourself depending on where you want to fish. But other than that, like I said, super cool boat, super inexpensive, definitely a great addition. It helps me get outdoors more, being able to explore different spots. So other than that, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. I'm getting out of this garage, man. It's super hot, I'm sweating. So again, thanks for watching, thanks for all your guys' love, thanks for all your support, and we'll see you guys on the next one.